This somehow makes it worse. Of course, Henyard and her team did not respond publicly to the accusations. Instead, Henyard posted a bizarre video of herself personally shoveling snow from Stubbs' driveway.
Unbeknown to me, Tiffany pulled up. And that's when she started talking about her haters. Oh, I'm at Valerie Stubbs' house. She called and asked me for help.
Now that's bold. Going on, the mayor said in the video, this is what it looks like when you pull up on your haters. Guess what? I am there for all my haters. It doesn't matter. Because I am the mayor of all of Dolton. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And even the hateful. According to Stubbs, clearly confused, she was seen emerging from her home, appearing briefly on camera.
If you think about it right now, can you walk us through the steps it got from, like you said, being critical of the mayor to this?
Now, whether the mayor's actions were innocent or malevolent, you can't deny that the optics look really bad. Going to the house of someone that has been accusing you of without their consent, now that doesn't look good at all. And according to Stubbs, Henyard actually told others she had called the village to have the snow cleared. So to see her there personally, that must have been scary. This mayor is definitely not leading the mafia allegations anytime soon. Continuing, Stubbs said, I never called her to come. She was just harassing me. I went to the next board meeting and told her to stop lying. Then, several months later, after an unsuccessful recall effort Stubbs helped to organize, Henyard again came to her property with an intimidating caravan of police and city workers, according to the retired deputy. I wasn't home, and they rang all the doorbells of me and my tenants asking where I was, she said. They called me and told me there were all these people outside. I called Henyard, but she didn't answer.
Tiffany came by my house with a caravan with police cars, sirens, ringing my bell, asking my tenants, was I at home? She
Enraged, Stubbs again went to a board meeting to confront the mayor during a public comment session. I wanted it on record that this woman was coming to my house and harassing me, she said. I told her not to come to my house again under any circumstances. Fast forward 2 months later, Stubbs woke up around 6:30 a.m. to a barrage of gunshots. She went outside and comforted a shaken bystander who had been waiting for the bus nearby at the time. She later went to the back of her home and saw two of her tenants' cars straight through bullet holes with shell casings on the ground. A video recorded by a neighbor's doorbell camera captured the shots and showed two men running from the scene, jumping in a white car and screeching off. So, hearing Stubbs say she believes Henyard was behind the incident, it becomes difficult to not believe her, given everything that has happened before then. To make matters worse, she reported the shooting to local police, but said the department would stop with the mayor's allies. They refused to give me the police report, she said, and I haven't heard anything since.
Car donations, vehicles for veterans offers an excellent alternative way for the American people to support our nation's veterans and their families. Thank you, Vehicles for Veterans, for always doing a little more for our nation's heroes.
We don't trust the police here. I mean, what do you expect when the police get so much from the super mayor to become her personal bodyguard? She who pays the piper would naturally call the tune. This isn't rocket science. Now, the story is that residents in the neighborhood are so afraid they now tell each other where they are going for outings and notify neighbors when they get home.
Some South suburban neighbors are scared to go for a walk, even a drive down the street, because of a spike in.
News Tara Molina asked Dalton's leaders that very question tonight.
To walk to the store, were you afraid to go in your backyard and to have a bar?
I told you it's quite a lot, guys. Anyways, let's deviate a little here first before I tell you the next one. Let's give you a little more background on the super mayor. Apparently, Henyard was a failed burger joint owner who burst into the spotlight for her antics as mayor, including dressing as the fictional drug kingpin Nino Brown from the 1991 crime classic New Jack City during a board meeting. If you think that's not hardcore enough, this woman had the DJ blasting Rihanna's Beatich Better Have My Money during the proceeding. Definitely one for the books. This mayor would have definitely been one of America's favorite mayors if she didn't decide to take her Nene Brown character too seriously. I mean, that's a super fly costume for a mayor to rock. But when she decides to actually start acting like a drug kingpin for real, it moves swiftly from fun to terror. So far, her critics claim that she is running a fiefdom of fear, pulling licenses from businesses who refuse to contribute to her coffers and using local law enforcement as a personal intimidation force. Thanks in part to Hinyard's spending habits, the town of 20,000 is now millions of dollars in debt. Mismanagement is so bad, some said, that Dalton police cruisers are on the verge of being repossessed due to non-payments. Stubbs said she now watches her back around town and is hoping the pleas for help from the struggling village will at some point be heard. Further investigations found that the village owes over $427,000 to a street paving company for work done in 2022. On top of that, a bank threatened to repo vehicles belonging to the village, including cop cars, due to unpaid balances. A tree trimming company is also owed $400,000 for work they did in 2023, the investigation found. For other vendors, the report found another $50,000 is owed in overdue payments. Now, the mayor herself admitted in a board meeting that there's a $2 million deficit the village is facing.
Hey, our investigations have documented well over $100,000 in first-class travel, meals, even donations to Henyard's questionable cancer charity. But that money came from Thornton Health.
But guess what? She still held a random $1 million Facebook giveaway in February of 2024 in honor of Black History Month. That's a million, guys, with 6 zeros after the figure 1. You really can't make this up. But like we told you before, that's still not all. This mayor's alleged sins are of biblical proportions, full measure, shaken over. The next accusation against her appears to be even worse. Apparently, Hinyard's former assistant has alleged that she was sexually harassed by a trustee on Hinyard's board. While that is terrible on its own, what makes it decidedly worse is that when she told Hinyard about it, the mayor decided that exposing the offender would tarnish her image. So guess what she does? She goes ahead to punish the victim. Of course, this is a story as old as time, but sometimes you hope for better. The fact that so many people have cuddled abusers and punished their victims does not mean that you stop hoping for better.
Well, this lawsuit that was filed by the mayor's former assistant accuses Mayor Hinyard of retaliation, and it accuses Trustee Holmes of assault.
Better is not an option in this case. So far, the Illinois Department of Human Rights has been investigating the complaints of sexual harassment and retaliation filed against the mayor. The case is
Sexual
still
harassment. I can hear that
a
fucking
former
word.
female
Fucking
employee
hide the fucking
who
word
was
from you,
Mayor
man.
Hinyard's
Grown ass
assistant
fucking man.
alleges retaliation as sexual harassment and discrimination after she raised concerns about an apparent non-consensual sexual encounter between her and an unnamed village trustee. Apparently, she's not even alone here. A Dalton police officer also said in a separate complaint filed with the Department of Human Rights that he also faced retaliatory actions for coming forward with what he witnessed. So, not only is the victim being punished, even her witness is also being punished. According to the former assistant, the incident allegedly occurred during an economic development trip to Las Vegas last May. The trip was attended by Mayor Hinyard and a handful of village representatives, including the former assistant. According to her complaint, the woman said she went to dinner with a Dalton trustee named Holmes. Then, after the dinner, she said she started to feel disorientated and extremely lightheaded, as if the ground was moving.
According to her lawsuit, though, after dinner, she went out with Trustee Holmes, and she said she felt lightheaded. They've been drinking, she says, and
From there, she reportedly blacked out, only to see herself waking up in the trustee's hotel room with no memory of how she got there and experiencing physical discomfort.
And she says the only thing she remembers after that point is waking up.
Waking up in the motherfucking hotel room. Motherfucker. Just fight for drink. I tell you. Good.
In his bed, not feeling like herself,
Everybody.
feeling uncomfortable and not sure how she got there.
She said that after returning to Dalton, Officer Byron Miles, who was part of Kenyon's security detail and who also went on that trip to Las Vegas, told her the trustee called to tell him that he had unprotected SSEX with her.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard's security detail. Now, according to the lawsuit, the trustee Holmes called Officer Miles and told him he had unprotected.
As if to show her veracity, Officer Miles has also filed a complaint with the Human Rights Department. Apparently, after being told that, the woman stated in her complaint that she went immediately to seek medical care. But, like we've already highlighted, what makes the story more chilling is what happened after. Apparently, both of them had a meeting the following day with the mayor. At this meeting, the woman informed Henyard that she would never willingly have SAEX with the trustee. On his own part, Officer Miles informed Henyard and the woman that the trustee called him that night in Las Vegas, bragging about the sexual activities he engaged in with the woman, and even going as far as suggesting that she may not have had the ability to consent or did not provide consent.
The lawsuit, Trustee Holmes called Officer Miles and told him he had unprotected with the woman. Trustee Holmes FaceTimed off.
According to the complaint, Officer Miles even recorded some of the conversation with his iPhone. But what did the mayor do after hearing this? You might want to know. Well, according to the complaints, the mayor said that if this information became public, she would be ruined, that all the work she'd done would be lost.
The woman seeks out Mayor Tiffany Henyard. She says she wants to, let her know what happened. The mayor allegedly says, if this gets out, it could ruin me.
The ex-employee said after that, the mayor told her she would take care of it and to trust her. But guess what? Days later, according to her complaint, the woman was put on unpaid medical leave, though she said she did not request to be put on leave. Her employment was eventually terminated by the mayor.
The woman says she was eventually let go, put on medical leave, she says without her permission, and then eventually she lost her job.
Wow.
In his own complaint, Officer Miles alleges that he was demoted to patrol duty, among other retaliation, for coming forward as a witness. Both are asking for back pay, front pay, punitive damages, and attorney's fees. Of course, the mayor denied all of this, officially saying the Village of Dalton conducted a thorough investigation into these allegations. The investigation was led by an independent third-party company consisting of former law enforcement officers, none of whom have ever been affiliated with the Village of Dalton. Former police officer Miles was interviewed and denied knowing anything about these allegations. Also, despite numerous attempts by the village's independent investigators to contact the alleged victim, she refused to give a statement or cooperate with our investigation. Unfortunately, this is nothing more than two disgruntled village employees who are trying to make off with the taxpayers' hard dollars. The village looks forward to defending these allegations and pursuing all other available remedies to the village. Now, that reply from the town sounds so good on paper until you consider that it's still the mayor that's in charge of things. Besides, how can someone who is still pursuing a case against the mayor suddenly deny everything he had said while still pursuing the same case? Something sounds fishy here, guys, and it's not the edible type. To confirm our suspicions, the attorney representing both the woman and Officer Miles says Officer Miles is in fact still employed with the Dalton Police Department, and that a criminal complaint on behalf of Mayor Henyard's ex-assistant is already imminent. Fingers crossed, though, because if this super mayor is anything like what the accusations and investigations are showing, one definitely has to be careful. Anyways, we hope the FBI would be able to do a better job where others have failed. Justice must be served no matter who is really the culprit here. And that's all from us today.
A beautiful home is something we create. It starts right now at Floor and Decor.